welcome back to my talk show, World of Women. I hope we all had an amazing Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys ate so much food just like I did. All right. So the last time I was here, I spoke about being in a toxic relationship. Always just remember that there's help out there. The number one goal is to watch out for is when you know that your health is deteriorating, your mental status is fluctuating, remember that there's help out there. Make sure you seek for help. Make sure you don't get stagnant in that relationship. There's help out there. There will always be someone who cares to listen. Okay? So today I'm going to be talking about relationship. Yes, relationship. Lots of things I would love to share about being in a relationship. But let me first of all talk about when you are in a relationship, how do you know if he's the right guy? What signs and what tips are you going to watch out for? Now, just generally, I always tell people that, if you're with a guy for so long, like, for instance, probably like 6-7 years, and he hasn't made any advances, to talk about your future, to talk about if you guys are going to be spending the rest of your lives together. Make sure you start, thinking of bringing up the discussion, evaluating if he's the right guy. Make sure you do your background check. Make sure you start questioning, okay? I always encourage people to date. Actually, I always encourage people to date because you could have a little bit of hints to the type of person you'll be dating. Dating also does not necessarily mean that you're going to know all, the characteristics of this spouse or this guy you're about to date. But at least you have an idea of who he is. Is it someone who is slow to anger? Is it someone who is, who gets angry easily? Is it someone who will keep malice to you, with you, even after apologizing? All little things like that, you could actually know where you date. So I always encourage, us to date the guy, know what you're getting into, know the capacity. Now, for some of us that are not yet in a relationship, what are the things you're going to be looking out for? Now, we all have our different criteria of what we want our guy to be. For instance, some people will tell me he has to be a Christian, or he has to be a Muslim, he has to be educated, One of those things I used to tell myself was that I would never date a guy who is actually first and has like 11 siblings and is the only one who is rich. Actually, that was one of my criteria then when I was, trying to get into a relationship then, because I didn't want lots of liabilities on myself. So it was a no for me. If you tell me that you are the first and you have like 11 siblings under you, I'll tell you you're on your own. Okay, anyway, so those are type of things you want to watch out for. We all have our different things we look out for when it comes to dating someone. But what are the general things we need to watch out for when we're with a guy? You want to first of all make sure that this person is family oriented, except if you are not family oriented. A lot of issues I've encountered lately, talking to married girls or married, ladies like me. The number one challenge they have actually is always, having issues with, my family members are not getting along with this and all that, which is not meant to be so. Okay, talking to a lady the last time, one of the encounters I've learned from talking to other married women, one of it are like family orientation men. The last time I spoke to a lady, she was talking to me about how she would have loved a very smooth, at least cordial relationship between her husband and her guy, and her mom. Okay, and I understand that we sometimes have challenges, with with personalities or views from one side and trying to blend it with another. But at least there should be like a baseline, cordial, respectful, peaceful atmosphere relationship between both family members. But the challenge that I actually think it's there is, number one, when you get into an affair, are you sure this person you're getting into actually is a family oriented person? Okay, are you sure this person you're about to get into is accommodating? Okay, so you want to try to talk about that. You want to try to issue that out. We have some of our cultures from this part of the world whereby, and I've seen where, in-laws can't come to houses, or they can't stay with you because it's their culture, is accepted and all that. But from Africa, where we come from, we're very family oriented, we're intertwined. We accept family members in our homes for vacations. They don't have to stay. So we all have to, check and evaluate to make sure that whoever you're getting with is a family oriented person, someone who is accommodating. You always, because no matter what, you always need your family members around you. You always have family members around you, except if you personally are not the type who is a family oriented person, then it might work. But as a general rule, someone who is very family oriented, who is homely, will not just be welcoming to just your immediate family members, to whoever is around you, your co-workers, your friends, your church, people, everybody around you will be welcome when you're with this guy. So you don't want to be with a guy that's always grumpy, or they know that, oh, he's always a nagger and things like that. Always make sure that you also don't nag. All right, so we don't expect all this perfection from men without us not doing our part. We expect perfection from men, but we also have to play our part, our role, in making sure that we are exhibiting good morals, good behavior, good cultural values, to make sure that we're keeping our own marriages relationship intact. Another challenge I'd like to talk about is, I was talking to a young lady who is willing to be in a relationship, and she met a guy that was perfect for her, had a good job, he seems nice, he's God-fearing, but a challenge was this guy was not tall enough. In that situation, what do we do? When I was growing up, well, I'm still growing up. When I was growing up, well, I personally had what I wanted my guy to be. Definitely, I wasn't so much into he had to be, perfect, or he had to be like a model or a billionaire at that time. But listening to her, and trust me, her age bracket is not that age bracket whereby she has enough time to want to pick, and make sure that all the criteria is met. But I'm wondering if this guy is God-fearing, is loving, he cares about you, is educated, is a Christian as you want, and is not that tall. And trust me, it's not as if he's short. Why would you pick that as a criteria of not wanting to be with him? One of the mistakes younger ladies make this time around is that their priorities in picking men are just questionable. They are questionable, because this is not the first time I will actually have a conversation with someone, and she would rather not be with this person because she's not tall. Another person I spoke to also would rather not be with a person because he has an asset. And it kind of baffles me that, are you really sure that we have a lot of good guys out there for you to be juggling with with these little ones that we have, that you've met? So to all young ladies out there, make sure that when you want to pick out your guy, or you are ready to say, yes, this is the guy for me, you're actually looking at the qualities of this guy. And what qualities are you want to look at? I've heard so many times from a particular friend of mine that her husband could go on 3-4 months without talking to her. Are you kidding me? And they live in the same house. How on earth would this particular lady be happy when you and your spouse are cat and dog in the house? So make sure that when you're picking the guy, make sure that you're looking at other qualities. Is this guy a gentle guy? Is this someone that has open communication skills? Is this someone that is God-fearing and would, back up every action that he does with the scriptures? Is this someone that would actually be with your kids when you have kids? Is this a man or a guy that will support your goals, your vision, your dreams? Is this someone that will lift you up when you're down? There are lots of other qualities you could look for in a guy than you saying that, oh, the guy has to be tall, or the guy has to have a better accent or has to speak English correctly. You know, don't get me wrong. If you get that type of a guy that is perfect and all that, so be it. I love that. I love, handsome guys. Trust me, I'm a fine boy addict. But when you are in this age bracket of, 35 and above, and I'm still hearing comments like he has to be tall, yeah, then it's kind of a big problem. It's kind of a big problem. And I'm not saying you won't find any, you understand, but don't be too rigid in picking out those modifiable qualities over qualities and that are very, very important. Don't you ever forget that these are two different people coming together, identities, views, cultures coming together, trying to be one. There's no marriage or relationship that is born perfect. Okay, we all come together to try to make it work, to try to make it perfect, to try to make it fun. Okay, so there's no relationship that comes back, boom, this is perfect. So if you have like most of the criteria of what you want your spouse to be, please go ahead and try to hook that person up. All right, let's also talk about for us that are married and we never had the opportunity to date. In that situation, you're on your own. I'm just kidding. All right. In that situation, I was talking to a lady recently, and she said she never had the opportunity to really date this guy, and she didn't really know so much about him, and now she's into him. She has like kids with this guy, and she loves him. She doesn't know what to do. Really, you don't know what to do? Just kidding. All right. So she was telling me that she doesn't know what to do and all that. And the number one question I asked her is that, are you okay? Are you fine? Is it something tolerable? Whatever you're going through at home, is it something you can handle? And she was like, oh yeah, I could handle it now. But a few years ago, I fell into depression. I didn't know what to do. But when I started having kids, I distracted myself, with my career, with my kids and all that, which is very good. You always have to make sure that you redirect yourself in a positive way. What do I mean by that? You don't have to fall into depression. You don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to be unhappy. Make to support that inner happiness that you need. Okay, so with her, I told her usually I would encourage people to date, because that way you have an idea of what you're dealing with, what you're getting into. But in her situation, she didn't have that. I'm not telling her, oh, get out of your marriage. As long as the guy is not abusing you, as long as he's doing his duties as a guy, as long as you are having issues that are still tolerable, not life-threatening issues. And when I say life-threatening, I mean issues like you falling into the hospital, like him beating you, or kids are involved in abuse. Yeah. So that one, I'll tell you, you know what? You need to check out, you need to evaluate, you need to sit down, talk to some people and see if it's going to work. But because no matter what, even if you had the opportunity of dating someone, and you probably even knew who he was, you probably will still end up with him anyway. But the difference is you still want to try to make it work. Okay, so in that situation and in the scenario I had with her, you're doing okay. Your career is going all right for you. Let's give it time. Okay, let's give it time. As long as you're not unhappy, you're comfortable, you're safe. I think we should try to make it work. Having said that, let us just know generally that we also have a role to play as ladies, as mothers, as wives, as sisters. We also have to have a good moral. You can't expect this guy to fall from heaven and be perfect. We also have to play our role as a lady. And what roles are we playing? We're playing our roles to be respectful, to be nice, to be loving, to be welcoming, to stretch out love to your spouse's family, to make sure they accommodate, you accommodate them and things like that. So remember that there's no perfect relationship made from heaven than us making it work, than us making it perfect. Okay, so let us do our part also as a lady, not just leaving our responsibilities to our men or to our guys. Make sure we are being respectful. We love his career, we love his goals, welcoming and heartwarming to his friends and family members. We're there to listen to him. We're technically kind of their mothers in a way, So make sure we're doing all that to make him comfortable. And I know it could be hard, but we all need to do our part also as ladies, to make sure that our home is comfortable for both of us. Okay, that power, we have that. Having said that, thank you so much for joining in today again. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed. Make sure you let people know, and share this channel, subscribe. Let me hear your critique, your thoughts. Let me also know what you want me to talk about, and we could juggle that together. Very soon I'm going to be bringing some people to the show to give us their challenges and how they overcame. Such an amazing people I met this past few months, and I can't wait to bring them to the show for them to share their experiences with you. All right, so I will see you again. I remain your girl, Fola. Be blessed, have fun, and take good care of yourself.